I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, mahalo, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, mahalo, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, so sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
Have you ever felt like there's a unique spark within you just waiting to shine? You're not alone. At the Center for Spiritual Living Beaumont, we believe that everyone has the potential to transform their lives with practical spirituality. Picture this: a supportive community where everyone is striving for a deeper spiritual connection. Imagine workshops that inspire, classes that enlighten, and a welcoming community that affirms who you truly are. We like to think of ourselves as your spiritual gym. Just like physical wellness requires practice and dedication, so does spiritual wellness. Our empowering principles are designed for daily use, helping you make meaningful changes in your life. It's all about changing your mind to change your life. Sounds simple, right? Whether you're looking to unlock your potential, find clarity, or simply connect with like-minded individuals, the Center for Spiritual Living Beaumont is the place to be. We're open and affirming to all because we believe that everyone deserves a chance to shine. So, are you ready to step into a more empowered version of yourself? Join us at the Center for Spiritual Living Beaumont.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Beaumont. I am Reverend Neil. If we have any first-time guests here this morning, we have some blue packets in the back. Feel free to grab one and tell you all about us and who we are and where we are and what we're about. If you're joining us online, welcome. If you could type in the chat and let us know where you're watching from and that you're here, that would be great. After service, we have a fellowship and meal in Carter Hall. Please consider staying after service. It is a good time for community and conversation. Please take a moment and make sure that your cell phone is silent. Insert joke about listening to the inner call instead of the cell phone call. Let's start off our conscious community this morning by reading our vision statement as we reaffirm who we are choosing to be as a spiritual community. CSLB is an inclusive and transformative community of spiritual practice. Let's take this moment to listen to our opening song. And as we listen to our opening song, please take a moment to turn to a neighbor and say howdy.
You keep saying you got something for me, something you call love, but confess you've been a messin' where you shouldn't have been a messin', and now someone else is getting all your best. These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you. Yeah. You keep lying when you ought to be truthing, and you keep losing when you ought to not bet.
This morning.
You keep saying when you ought to be a-changing. Now what's right is right, but you ain't been right yet. These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days these boots are gonna walk all over you. You keep playing where you shouldn't be playing, and you keep thinking that you'll never get burned. Ha! I just found me a brand new box of matches, yeah. And what he knows you ain't had time to learn. These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days these boots are gonna walk all over you. Are you ready, boots? Start walking.
As always, Thursday, 1 to 2:30 for grief group. And I think I'm getting a signal to turn on my microphone because I'm coming across on this microphone. And Joe Goldsmith is Dark Until the New Year. Every first and third Sunday, which will be next Sunday, 9 to 9:30, we do How to Speak Science of Mind in Carter Hall. It's going really well. Great little book. Now, with the help of the Morango Band of Mission Indians, CSLB is able to support 14 families, friends, and neighbors, or others with a turkey dinner, and see Ross. And Ross is going to come up and do a brief introduction to the turkeys we were awarded and how we're going to share those.
Good morning. I'm Ross Holmquist. I'm co-chair of the events team. And we want to put out a special thank you to the Morongo Band of Mission Indians for their donation of 16 turkeys to CSLB. If you could use a little help this season or know of a family that does, the center has 8 remaining turkeys that are available for adoption. We're also including all the sides. We put together a little sample there and a filled roasting pan to complete a holiday feast. The catch, you've got to pick them up next Monday, the 18th, between 10 and 1 o'clock. So that's the window for pickup. Please see me after service, and we'll get you signed up for a turkey dinner. Thanks so much.
And the pickup will be here at this center. So we're going to pick them up in the morning, and they will be here. So you're welcome. And to say it's going to be a complete Thanksgiving dinner to go for you and your family and friends. Flower ministry. Rev Bev has our flower ministry going strong. We started it. We have fresh flowers every Sunday. We want to thank Rev Bev for putting those together and organizing that. You can sign up on our flower ministry sheet in the hall. If you have an anniversary or a special date you want to celebrate and contribute flowers, you can. And if not, we raffle them off at lunch, and you get a chance at winning these flowers if they aren't dedicated. Metaphysical Movie Night is back this Wednesday. Spaghetti dinner this Wednesday. So we're doing spaghetti dinner 5 to 6. Come and get physically nourished and then get spiritually fed. And the movie we're running this week is Hidden Figures. Very metaphysical, very themed on love, very themed on moving through what we need to move through as individuals and as a country. So Hidden Figures, it's a great movie. Dinner 5 to 6, movie 6 to 8. We are going to be hosting, Ross and I are going to host at this center on Thanksgiving Day, a full Thanksgiving dinner. It's going to be from 2 to 4 p.m. We will have everything. If you want to contribute something, you may, but we're doing the turkey and all of the fixings on Thanksgiving Day, 2 to 4. So join us for that. We have a fellowship food challenge, which Betty Ann is going to, a food challenge for main dishes. If you want to contribute to our lunch, the center will contribute up to $50 for you to buy the main dish. If that's meats, whatever that is, our main entree. And then the rest of the community will provide side dishes. So sign up for our fellowship food challenge. We have that sign up, what you'd like to bring for a main entree, and the center will reimburse you for the cost of the main entree. And now we have our attitude of gratitude segment, and Betty Ann is going to share about that.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Greeted 3-4 times, but aloha. My name is Betty Ann James, and I am a member of the membership team here. And every November, we send out, and I mail these out, snail mail. And I know some of you that are online, you still got snail mail. Please get them back to me and put them in this basket. And I will pick 2 today because we were to start the program last week. Are you ready?
We're ready.
Okay, I pick 1. And if you fold them, I don't know who it is. So, the first one that I pulled out was for Diane. Diane, could you stand up? All right. In her gratitude, she's grateful for all the wonderful people at the Spiritual Center. She's grateful for having such fun, loving, crazy brother. And she also has a sister that's still safe in Israel. She's also grateful for the ability to share with others and the ability to love and be loved. Our theme, love. Thank you. And the second one is from Shannon. Oh my goodness. And she just put it in the basket. So never when it's too late. She's grateful for CSLB Beaumont. She's grateful for the support group, for the grief support group, excuse me. She's grateful for members Bob and Emmy. She's grateful for her family and her boyfriend, John. And her practitioner, Adrian Madden. Thank you.
We have one more announcement for Donna, and Donna is in a concert today at 3 o'clock at Redlands High School. It's Romeo and Juliet Overture, Symphony No. 4 in F minor. So 3 o'clock today, Redlands High School. Donna is performing in a concert. So if you need more information, Donna's right there in the center row, and you can talk to Donna afterwards. So hopefully you can make your way over there and support her in this concert this afternoon.
Thank you. And as I said before, you can still put yours in. I keep these so they're not drawn again. Thank you.
Free. The concert is free, no charge. And then if you'll join us afterwards in Carter Hall, we're doing a full lunch in Carter Hall, so we've got that going on for a fellowship meal, so we would love it if you would join us there.
Come on up.
Oh, pledge campaign, come on up. Lots going on today.
Hi, I'm Sandy Schilling-Fetterman, and Yvonne asked me if I would speak this morning about our pledge campaign. So I was just thinking about the theme of the campaign this year, Together We Thrive, and what that means to me. So, like it takes a village to raise a child, it takes a congregation to have a center thrive. We come here for our spiritual nourishment. We come here for our friends and fellowship, for joy and laughter, and to feel a part of the whole. So just like the home you live in, that you take care of, you help our center to thrive by giving of your time, your talent, and your treasure. I didn't always pledge to my spiritual community. I gave a few dollars here and there. But it wasn't until I went to a workshop led by Edwin Gaines that I learned the true value of tithing and pledging. It isn't about the center. It's about me. It's about you. And raising your consciousness of abundance in all areas of your life. I started out small, and I gradually moved up the percentage I was giving. But I gave consistently. Even when things were tough, I gave. And I watched my life shift for the better. I know it's a privilege, not an obligation, to give, and my life is better for it. So join me today as we thrive together. Thank you.
All right. As we set aside all the busyness and business of our center, I invite you to take this opportunity to settle into your chair. The other practitioners and I will be available after service for a moment of prayer on this side of the sanctuary. Please do not leave here with anything this morning, with anything on your hearts. We would love to pray with you, and we absolutely know that prayer works. So let's take this opportunity to close our eyes and let this meditative song bring us to our center.
But the pavement always stayed beneath my feet before. that somehow you are near. The overpowering feeling that any second you may suddenly appear.
So before I do our invocation this morning, I wanted to do a short reading. This comes from the Book of Awakening by Mark Nepo. It's called The Edge of Center, and he quotes a 14th century Japanese poet. All tempest has, like a navel, a hole in its middle, through which a gull can fly in silence. And he says, from across the centuries, this nameless voice tells us that at the heart of all struggle, there is a peaceful, enduring center, if only we can reach it. All the wisdom traditions affirm this. Still, a deeper paradox of life is carried here, for the gull flies through the peaceful center. It does not live there. The work, it seems, is for us to draw sustenance from that central, eternal space without denying the experience of the storm. Repeatedly, we are thrown into the storm and into the center. When in the storm, we are exacerbated by our humanness. When in the center, we are relieved by our spiritual place in the oneness of all things. So to find the center and spread out our battered wings is to feel the God within. Our constant struggle is living in both sides of this paradox, for we cannot get to the center without going through the storm that surrounds it. Yet the storm of human experience can only be endured by knowing what the gull knows. The storm can only be survived from the center, and how we pass each other from storm to center and back. There you'll find the trials and gifts of love. So I invite you to close your eyes this morning as we go within to our center. And isn't it ironic that we call this the center for spiritual living? For it is from that center that we live. The center of love, the center of light, the center of peace, the center of inclusion and belonging, the center of spiritual principle, the center of spiritual living. And so in this moment, I'm simply grateful for this spiritual community and for the spiritual principles and presence and practices that sustain us within the storm, that sustain us in our daily living, that sustain us in the face of any doubt or fear or worry or anxiety. We live from the center. And it is from this place that I know and declare that there is only one power, one presence, and one principle that I call Spirit, that I call God, simply because it is the biggest word that I know. It is from this place that we gather this morning to hear the words, the music, the conversation, the community that uplifts us and inspires us, to go about our days, to be of service to each other, to live from a place of love. And so I call this time good, I call it complete, and I know that there is a gift in this moment for each one of us. And so I know that each one of us claims it, we live it, and we breathe it. And in great gratitude, I simply declare, and so it is.
And so it is. It was a week for me personally, and a week for many of us, with all that was going on, that a week which I came to the acceptance of. I feel, I loved Reverend Neil's reading. I loved his meditation this morning. And I feel all of that for myself invited in the word acceptance. And I feel when we say, and so it is, we're inviting in the acceptance of the way things are. Maybe not the way we think they should be or the way we'd like to see them, but accepting things exactly the way they are. And as we accept things exactly the way they are, for myself, I enter into this space this week of infinite intrigue. This space of infinite intrigue. And our talk is Spiritual Boot Camp. And in that space of infinite intrigue, which made itself welcome in, as, and through me in a most likely moment, I came to realize that it's not the boots that we put on as much as where we choose to walk in these boots and how we choose to talk in our boots. What we choose to walk toward and make welcome in our life and what we back away from. David Bruner, formerly CSL San Jose, retired recently, but he's doing these 2-minute video clips on Facebook, and the one he sent out this week was absolutely beautiful. 5 points for spiritual living, and the one point that he brought up that really spoke to me and speaks to me and speaks through me was the point of don't engage in a conversation that you don't choose to engage in. If it isn't powerful, if it isn't uplifting, if it isn't love, then walk away. And David said that's one of our truths. We walk toward what we want to make present, and we back away and change directions. I think it's called pivoting. There's a book, The 4 Pivots, and we pivot away from things that aren't working, and we pivot toward things that are working, and mostly we pivot into that presence of acceptance, that presence of accepting things the way they are. And for me, there are 3 levels of acceptance. There's the mystical level, in which you kind of see beyond the ways of the world, and you just are in a state of energy where everything is love and everything's okay. And then there's the metaphysical level, and that's our teaching of this world and of the world beyond. The mystic's kind of in the world beyond, but the metaphysician, and that's what we are in this teaching, we're of this world. We're in human form, right? Human body. But we're also aware there's something beyond what we can see, and that's the metaphysician, and accepting that. And then there's the mechanic in this world, right? There's the mechanic in this world, and the mechanic is pretty finite in their thinking. They measure things, they use the right wrench on a car. When they're changing a spark plug, they have the exact right wrench. When we're taking a bolt out of something in the kitchen, the back of a stove, and they're cleaning the filter and the bolt, they have the exact right wrench and size tool. So the mechanic is very specific. But the mechanic doesn't allow in for the possibility of metaphysics. He doesn't accept in that there's something of this world and not of this world, and he doesn't make welcome what the mystic does, all of that energy of the world beyond. And so our opening story is about a mystic, a metaphysician, and a mechanic. And they're all in prison. They've been imprisoned by the church. And this is very much what conservative religion did. You know, the Roman Church and the Catholic Church way back to people who said that that the earth was the center, the earth revolved around the sun. And many people then thought, oh no, the earth was it, we're all it. And other people came out and said, no, we're observing that we're part of the galaxy. We're not the center of the galaxy. And so people who spoke differently against the way things were imprisoned and beheaded. And so this mystic, this metaphysician, mechanic are all in prison for speaking against the traditions of the church. And the metaphysics says, well, when I go to the guillotine tomorrow, and they were all going together, I'm going to ask to face up and watch that blade, because I know of things beyond this world. I know love protects me and guides me and gives me. And in that presence of love that I am living in and experiencing, that guillotine blade will not harm me. And so the metaphysician says, well, I'm not quite where you are. I'm still of this world, but I know there's another world, and I know that love is what it's all about. So I'm going to borrow on the mystic's belief, and know that I'm okay. I'm going to come more from the miracle of what lies beyond than material of what I can see. So the metaphysician says, I'll borrow on your belief. And the mechanic says, well, I'm pretty mechanical. I believe in the ways of this world. I believe in sin and guilt and shame. But I'm going to borrow the metaphysician's belief. I'll piggyback on that, and I too will ask to face the blade. So they're all there at the guillotine. And the mystic says to the person, I'd like to lie face up. I believe in my faith, that it's within, that I am love, and the love will protect me. And the guillotine person says, okay. And so he faces up. They lower the blade. The blade stops 1/8 of an inch away from the mystic's neck. And the king is there. And the king says, let him go. He's proved to me that his power of belief works. I didn't believe the power was within. He's proved to me that the power of belief within works. The metaphysician says, I'm going to borrow on the belief of the mystic. I'm going to face that guillotine blade, put me face up. And the blade drops, and it stops 1/16 of an inch away from the metaphysician's neck. And the king says, you're forgiven, you're set free. Obviously, the power of your belief within works. And the mechanic says, I too want to face up. So they face him up. He lies down. He says, I really want to believe in the mystic, and I really want to believe in the metaphysician, but I'm really of the ways of this world. I'm really of the ways of this world, but I'm going to borrow their belief. And he's lying down. He faces the blade of the guillotine. He goes to the gentleman. He says, oh, there's a little knot in the rope up there, and that's why the blade's not falling. And they untie the blade. They untie the knot, and they drop the blade, and his head rolls. And so one of the morals of this story for me is you can't borrow anyone else's belief. You have to make it your own, right? As much as we want to raise and praise and amaze up this world, right, this week and other weeks, as much as we want to do that, as much as we want everyone to be fed, as much as we want there to be fair and equitable distribution of food, there's enough food on this planet. It's the distribution system that's not working. There are enough finances. It's the distribution system that's not working as well as we'd like. So the way we make this teaching working is we make it our own, yes? We make it our own. It's not so much about the boots we walk in as where we wear those boots, the parades we walk in. The way we walk, the way we talk, the way we believe. It's the way we show up. So that's the message of this teaching. It's said to truly inspire people. To truly inspire people, don't show them your superpower. Don't show them your superpower or your superpower of your ego. Show them the superpower of the power of the love in their hearts. Yes, yes. What's the power of love in your heart? What's the power of love in your heart that you believe in? What's the power of heart? What's the power of your faith that you walk in? What's the power of hope that you live in? Right? What's within us? Don't show people your superpower. Show them the superpower of the love in their hearts. Rumi was a great Sufi mystic. We are talking about the mystic. Realms beyond where all there is love. Rumi was a great Sufi mystic. And he was a poet, and he lived in the 12th century. And what's wonderful about philosophy, what's wonderful about mysticism, what's wonderful about our teaching, it's a teaching for all time. It's a teaching that takes a look at what happened in the 12th century and makes it relevant to our century and our time today. It makes it relevant to the way we wear it and put it on and show up and walk it and talk it. And so he was a great mystic. He lived in the 12th century, but he spoke to our time today. His philosophy was that life should be a journey within, a journey of awakening to our love within. And he shared, the door to our heart opens inward. And as the door to our heart opens inward, the power of the love in our heart flows outward. Our teaching, the story of the guillotine, take it inward. And as you take it inward and you allow it to move you forward in the truth of who you are, all things are possible. All things are possible. Rumi shares this. You have no need to travel anywhere. Journey within yourself. Enter a mine of rubies and bathe in the splendor of your own love and light. Bathe in the splendor of your own love and light. Rumi was a mystic who lived in the 12th century, and he speaks to our present day situation. Okay, so I welcome us all home to the journey within ourselves, right? That Rumi invites us, the journey within. Take it within. Welcome home to the splendor of your own light. You are a splendorous light. You're a splendorous, shimmering light. Welcome home to the splendoring light that you are. And welcome all to the light of love in your heart. That's where love lives. That's where we shine it from. That's where we become it from. That's where the light that we are, that we become, becomes the change in the world we desire to see. It becomes the change in the world we desire to see. And so, whether you're a first-timer here or an old-time regular, I am going to try something new, right? We move from the old to the new to the now. And so I'm going to try something new that I haven't done here before. And Bill McNee Smith came to me when I was writing this. He was a center of love and a pillar of this community. And I only knew him for a short time. He made his transition recently. But I would say to Bill, we're thinking of doing lunch every Sunday. And Bill would say, we haven't done that here, Reverend Michael, but it just might work. I would say, Bill, I'm thinking of doing a metaphysical movie night with a spaghetti dinner on Wednesday. He said, well, Reverend Michael, we haven't done a metaphysical movie night, but it just might work. So with Bill looking down and all around and present here today, Bill, I have an idea. I want to try something today. And I hear Bill saying, Reverend Michael, we haven't done that before, but it just might work. So in honor of Bill McKee Smith, in honor of our oldsters and our newsters and our youngsters and our first-timers, I'm going to sing this the first time through. And what your responsibility, what your responsibility, your ability to respond is to listen to this the first time through, because then I'm going to invite you to sing it with me. So listen up. So, we know who you are loved, you are loved. We see your perfection, namaste. We honor you today, we recognize your true spirit. Welcome home, welcome Om, welcome all. So we're going to go, the lyrics are on the screen. I skipped a line and then backtracked, but here we go. And I know who you are. Now we're going to we know who you are. We know who you are loved, you are loved. We see your perfection, namaste. Recognizing your true spirit, we honor you today. Welcome home, welcome Om, welcome all. So that was for Bill. That was for Bill. So the journey I invite us to go on together today is a journey of love, and the journey is always better. Sandy shared, it's better together, right? The journey is always bigger and brighter and bolder and better when we do it together. We do it together in community. We walk together through the stuff we're walking through, right? I'm walking through stuff. You're walking through stuff. Let's walk together. Let's walk together. Maybe not side by side, but how about hand in hand? How about heart in heart? Let's walk through stuff together. So the journey of love, I invite us to go on together today, if you so choose to accept that invitation, is the journeyless journey. Ooh, now we're getting mystical. Shoot, just when we thought we were grounded, right? Now we're flying high in the sky. The journeyless journey of knowing beyond knowing. Not the mechanic, he got himself in trouble, but the journeyless journey of knowing beyond knowing. There's an infinite thread of cosmic consciousness. that weaves its way through all of the wanders and the wanderings of our spirit, our soul, and our body. Ralph Waldo Emerson referred to this. Ralph Waldo Emerson referred to this in his poem, Self-Reliance. And he speaks of this cosmic wonder, this infinite thread that connects and runs in, as, and through everything. He speaks of it in terms of self-reliance. And he speaks in terms of self-reliance, not of independence, but rather he speaks of self-reliance in terms of interdependence, interconnectedness, and interbeingness, of an infinite thread of cosmic wonder. Now, I experienced it this week in my life. There was a situation when the toss and the turn and the tumble of the event did not go the way I expected. And I expected to resist, and when I resist, it persists. And the strangest thing came my way. I took the term acceptance in my head and I moved it into my heart. I didn't do it. It did it. And when that acceptance came from my heart, what normally would have toppled me down and toppled me over, instead, through acceptance, it turned me inward. And it turned me onward. And it turned me forward to this place within of cosmic wonder and infinite intrigue. And I had friends within 2 hours. I called them. They said, well, aren't you in a different place than you were 5 years ago? You went into acceptance in less than 2 hours. 5 years ago, you didn't talk to anybody for a month. What a point of acceptance. And they said, what happened? And I said, I went into the state of cosmic wonder and infinite intrigue. And they said, okay, that's okay. I'm glad you're okay. We'll talk to you later when you come out of that place. Come back to the world. And so if we look at the slide, there's a marriage of the sun and the moon. And so Emerson talks about this infinite intrigue of interconnectedness in terms of the marriage of the sun and the moon and the stars, yes? He talks of the infinite intrigue of the oneness of the candle and the wick and the flame. Better when they do it together. He talks about the infinite intrigue of the orbs and the orbits of our spirit, soul, body. And that's what the three orbs I put on the slide. If we look at the three orbs, that's the orb of that infinite thread. That's the energy of that infinite thread. That's the energetic evolution of that infinite thread that interconnects and interrelates our interbeingness that Emerson talks about. And so those are the three orbs of our spirit and our soul and our body, all connected in one. And all, Emerson says, lead to a self-reliance by which we come to know who and whose we are, what our higher purpose is. We come to know from whence we came, to where we're going, but mostly to where we are right now. What boots are you wearing right now? Where will those boots take you right now? What voice will you bring forth in the boots that you're wearing on the way to where you're going? It's not about the boots we choose. It's about where we wear those boots to, and how we speak up in those boots, and how we keep moving away and start walking away from that which doesn't serve us toward that which serves us. Ralph Waldo shares this of the infinite intrigue that I experienced this week, of becoming who we truly are, and he shares this of that infinite intrigue of cosmic intelligence that's ever present for ours to accept, not in our head, but in our heart. Here's what Ralph says. I must be myself. I cannot break myself any longer for you or for you or for you. If you can love me for what I am, we shall both be in this moment happier. If you cannot, I will still seek that you deserve your own happiness on your own path. I will still seek that for you. But I must be myself. I will not hide my tastes or aversions. I will so trust what is deep inside of me is the depth of the holy, that I will do strongly before the sun and the moon and the stars whatever inly rejoices me. Whatever inly rejoices me. And whatever the heart appoints me to be. If you are noble, I will love you. If you are not noble, I will not hurt you. And I will not hurt myself by being hypocritical. If you are true, but not in the same truth with me, cleave to your companions. I will seek my own. I will seek my own. I cannot sell my liberty and my power and my soul to save your sensibilities. Ralph Waldo Emerson. A nice place to visit. A nice place not to accept in your head, but to accept in your heart. A nice place to visit. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Self-reliance, not independence, interdependence with all and everything. You know, as I walk my walk and I talk my talk, whatever boots I may be wearing that day, I come to know who I am. I come to know who I am. Neil and I were talking, and I'm pretty sure that's why I come here on a Sunday. Come to know who I am. I hope you come here to come to know better who you are. And our talk title is Spiritual Boot Camp. And it's not just about the boots you're going to wear. It's about where you're going to wear them. How are you going to walk in them? What are you going to walk toward, and what are you going to walk away from? Because what you walk toward and what you walk away from will determine the degree and the depth of the spiritual quickening you will experience this lifetime. We're talking about the degree and the depth of the spiritual quickening you will experience this lifetime. Our talk theme is keep walking. What quickening will you make welcome by choosing the parade you're going to walk in? What parade are you going to make welcome? Will it be the parade of paradise? The parade of heaven as one with earth? The parade of love as all and all is love? The parade of a world that works for everyone? Oh, we've got a parade walker here. Debbie walked in the parade and she got a flag here today. So Debbie walked in the parade with us. We had about 14 people walk with us at CSL Bowman in our first parade. And enter any parade. If you're offered a parade, be in the parade. If you aren't offered a parade, create your own parade. Don't walk behind the parade. Don't walk ahead of the parade. Walk with the parade. Because as you walk with the parade, you get that interconnectedness that we're all doing this together. We're all walking together. And what we're walking together in, whatever parade you choose to be in, but be in a parade. You know, be in a parade. And what we do in the language that we walk, it doesn't matter the boots we're wearing or where we're walking. What matters is the language of love that we speak, right? And so what quickening will make you welcome? By speaking the language of love. What quickening will you make welcome? By loving yourself as you are. And what quickening will you make welcome? By opening inward the door of your heart and letting outward flow the love in your heart. Your heart, how are you going to let that door open? Going to let it open inward and let all your love flow outward? So after a week like this, what the world needs now is love, sweet love. And that's the only thing right now in this world that I feel there's just too little of. our Pride Parade, this year's theme was Be You. Be you. Here's our CSL Beaumont team, our new CSL Beaumont banner. A lot of new, right? A lot of new. And what I came to experience was that I was so glad I didn't let the parade pass me by, and it almost passed me by, because we've done this for 8 years at 4 different CSL centers. And Ross said to me, and he says every year, this is the thing I really don't like doing. It's too much work. It's too long a walk. I have to drive the car. People don't show up, you know, and I'm glad we did it. Are you? So here's an example. There's no power in agreement. If you're looking for somebody to agree with you on this week's election results, good luck, because there's no power in agreement. I really think the only power is presencing love, right? Presencing love. But what I came to experience, and I'm glad I didn't let the parade pass me by. I'm glad we did the paperwork and did the banner, and because in the midst of the parade, I became mystically present. How many here know that experience of being mystically present? It's pretty unusual. We have 3 or 4 people who 4 or 5 people who claim to have had that mystical presence. Now, it's not right, it's not wrong, it's not better, it's not that you didn't take enough classes or do your homework. I think it's something we accept in our heart. And I had a mystical moment. And I came to experience this, and I'm trying to put it into words. And you can't put mystical experiences into words, but here's the best that I can do. So listen to this from your heart, because it ain't going to resonate in your head. I became mystically present, and I experienced that any objects of apparent resistance in my life, in truth, are opportunities to experience my resilience. And as I experience my resilience, I open up to my inner radiance of love. What does Rumi say? Open your heart inward and let the love flow outward. I'll do that again because I'm trying to understand it. I had a mystical experience that I wouldn't have had had I not signed up for the parade. I experienced that any objects of apparent resistance, in truth, are opportunities to experience my resilience. And my resilience allows me to open up to my inner radiance of love. Ralph Waldo Emerson, Rumi, Ernest Holmes. As we come to accept in our hearts and love ourselves exactly as we are and exactly as we aren't, we come to realize and to recognize the interdependence and the interconnectedness of all life by means of an infinite thread of cosmic wonder that weaves its way through all of the wanders and the wanderings of our spirit, our soul, and our physical body. And that the ultimate principle, practice, and prayer of life is self-love. Because you can't love anybody else until you love yourself. And self-love is not selfish. Self-love is the key to loving everybody else as they are. You're not loving yourself as you are. You're not loving other people as they deserve to be loved. Everyone deserves your full out, full on, full shining bright love. And if you aren't coming from that radiance and that resilience within yourself, you're depriving the world of your full out radiance of love. But it's not the world that you're depriving, it's yourself that you're hiding from that truth of who you are. Science of mind is not a game of hide and seek, because science of mind is about believing that what you are seeking is seeking you, and that nothing is ever lost. Science of mind is not about hide and seek. It's about being and being present. Because until we fully embrace ourselves as we are, we can never fully embrace another as they are, or another nation as they are. Right? All nations as one, right? Not until we embrace our nation in love and ourselves in love. To go through life without knowing the full-on embrace of unconditional love, for me, because there were many, many years I didn't love myself, and I was told not to love myself, and I was told I wasn't enough, or tall enough, or rich enough, or short enough. I sure wasn't tall enough, because in all of the grade school photos, I'm in the front row because the short people went to the front row, right? Tall people in the back row. We were assigned roles, right? And assigned where to show up. But when you're wearing your own boots, you walk and you show up in the parade you want to show up. I think if I go back to grade school in my next lifetime, I'm going to be the short person in the back row or the tall person in the front row, and the heck with the rules. The heck with the darn rules. You know, to go through it without the full embrace of unconditional love for me, because I've been there, is the saddest thing I can ever imagine. It's the saddest thing I can ever imagine. But if I can imagine it as the saddest thing, imagination is our power in this teaching, I can imagine my way to the gladdest thing. The gladdest thing of wearing the boots I want to wear and walking where I want to walk and talking where I want to talk and saying what I want to say. Raymond Charles Barker would agree with me, and as Ross demonstrated, there's no power in agreement. But Barker says this: the principle of life is that life responds by corresponding. Your life becomes the thing you have decided it will be. Barker's wisdom reminds me of the incredible infinite power we hold in steering our lives toward fulfillment and positivity. Let's commit to conscious decision-making. Conscious decision-making. And witness the beautiful correspondence that unfolds. Your decisions shape your reality. Choose wisely and live abundantly. And remember, you are always being guided by a cosmic intelligence. I experienced an opening this week at the parade. I experienced seeing an opening at my ordination panels, which I did not pass. I've been delayed for 6 months. But in that experience of delay, I came to an inner relay system within myself. And it was an inner relay system of resilience that led me to my radiance. And I had this remarkable experience that I cannot put into words. It was this energetic of a light switch, but it wasn't a light switch. It was an energetic of a light switch, but I didn't see the light switch and go to the energetic. That's how we work on this life plane. We see an image and we go to the energy field. It changes our energy field. But this was an energetic of an inner energy in which I didn't see a light switch, but I felt the essence of that light switch, and I felt the essence of that light switch in full-on position. You're all looking at me like, what is he talking about? There's this look. I don't know, but I know what I felt. I know what a mystic feels. I know what full-on acceptance in the moment feels like. And I now know what it looks like and tastes like and breathes like. I came to a knowing beyond knowing of who and whose I am. Right? I must be me. I must be me. I cannot be the you want me to be. I can't do it. And so Robert Frost shares this of the infinite intrigue of acceptance. I experienced mystical moments this week of infinite intrigue of acceptance. I'm not the only one, you know? You may say I'm a dreamer. I'm not the only one. No hell above us, no heaven below. Someday, we all will be as one. Robert Frost wrote a poem called Acceptance. Thank you, Robert. I don't feel so alone. Don't feel so alone anymore. So can we advance to the next slide? Because it's not clicking right now. So thank you, Robert, and for all of those who are wondering about this infinite intrigue of acceptance or working from moving to your head to your heart, let Robert speak this to you. And no, you are not alone. You are not alone. You are not alone in this teaching. You're not alone in full-on love. You are not alone. We walk together, right? Sandy, we better together. It's better when we walk together in a parade or in our boots. And here's what Robert Frost says about that acceptance I experienced. Thank you, Robert, for letting me know I'm not alone. When the spent sun throws up its rays on clouds above, while going down burning into the gulf below, no voice in nature is heard to cry aloud at what has happened. Birds, at least, must know it is the change to darkness in the sky. The birds murmur something quiet in their breasts. One bird begins to close a faded and tired eye for having flown so far from home, and yet, not overtaken by too much, it finds its way home to its nest. As it finds its way home to its nest in the midst of that darkness, hurrying low above the grove of trees, some waif swoops just in time to his remembered tree. He remembers his home in the darkness. He remembers the light of love in his darkness. That home of the heaven in our heart is there in the darkness. And the birds remember. And the bird, he thinks and twitters softly, safe, safe. I'm safe in the dark. Now let the dark be dark for all of me. Let this darkest dark pervade me. Let the night be too dark for me to see into the future, and let me accept that what will be, will be. You know, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of dark and death, I will not stop and build a condominium there. I will keep walking. I will keep moving. I will keep building my consciousness of love and light. Yes? I will keep building my consciousness of love and light. One of the ways we build our consciousness of love and light and not belong to anyone else is by coming to see the Bible for the very first time. Not by the words that are written, but by the mystical energy and essence that comes off of those pages between the words, as in the blank of the pages, that the message of the mystic is speaking to us. Right? Baby booties. What kind of booties you wearing? Baby booties. Christ in the manger. I don't know if he wore baby booties, but for my talk, he did. It's my talk. If I want to put him in baby booties, I'll put him in baby booties, right? He wants to take them off, he'll take them off, right? I mean, he's Christ, all right. If you want the boots off, he'll take them off. But the baby booties, the newness of walking in a new world, of walking in a new realm, of walking in a new wonder, that freshness of our first steps on a new planet and a new experience, and that Christ light and that energy. It's written in the scripture, it's written on the pages, but it lives in our heart. It lives in our heart. The wonder of a fisherman's boots. I have fisherman's boots from Amazon in my office. They're like this tall. For the talk, what boots are you wearing? Are you wearing a fisherman's boots? And here's what scripture says about fishermen and the boots. One evening, after Jesus had fed a large crowd with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish, he sent his disciples ahead of him in a boat while he went up the mountain to pray. During the night, the disciples' boat was battered by waves, and they were struggling against the wind. In the early hours of the morning, right in the dark of the morning, it's dark, dark, dark. In the early hours of the morning, Jesus came to them, walking on water. Seeing him, the disciples were frightened, thinking that we're seeing a ghost. Jesus assured them, saying, "Take courage, it is I. Don't be afraid of the dark." Peter, one of the disciples, responded by saying, "Lord, if it's you, tell me to come to you on the water." Jesus invited Peter to come, and Peter stepped out of the boat and began walking on the water toward Jesus. However, when Peter noticed the strong wind and the dark, he became afraid and he began to sink, and he cried out to Jesus for help. And Jesus immediately reached out, caught him, and said, "You of little faith, why did you doubt yourself in the dark?" Yeah. Why did you doubt yourself in the dark? I was there. I was there. Our talk title was Spiritual Boot Camp. What boots of faith will you wear this week? What language of love will you speak this week? What parade of the paradise of love will you walk in today, this week, this lifetime? Don't let parades pass you by. The following passage speaks of finding your space and place and grace. The following passage speaks of finding your place, your space, your grace, of whatever boots you choose to wear, of whatever parade you choose to be part of, whatever walk and talk you choose to walk and talk. Make certain that you are walking and talking and breathing the light of love. Finding your space and place and grace. Many times humans feel lost, disconnected, and rejected. It's a human condition that all have faced, and no one is ever replaced. It's just a movement into another space. Many cannot see the need for movement. Don't build a condo there. Keep moving. Many cannot see the need for movement. Many times one's heart and mind are dragged, kicking and screaming, holding on to things that no longer serve them. That was my way. And this week I went into acceptance, and I don't kick and scream anymore. I shout out loud a lot, but I don't kick and scream. I still shout out loud. Don't hold on to things that no longer serve you. That's what holds you back. The need for that feeling of familiarity, that known outcome. But what is known is always shown, and that, my friends, is the grace of understanding. Many humans hold on to that known outcome, expecting it to change, wanting it to change, and not allowing it to change. But by change, things move, actions move, one always forward, upward, and I would say inward and onward, past that past, into a bright new future. All one has to do is be open and ready and steady of one's heart and one's faith. It's hard to direct the past. It's hard to convince oneself that those things no longer matter. As they linger and wander in deception, nothing will change that outcome that has already arrived. By projecting that change helps. By dwelling on that desired result, one can be inspired to move into a new space and place, happiness and heartfelt grace. Allowing that projection and movement allows the grace to place one's under-desired emotions and fills one's soul. You have a purpose for your being here at this time and in this space. Relax. Allow all of you to fall into place. Relax and allow Spirit to lead you to your space and your grace. No forcing, no complaining, no arguing, no compliance. When one lets go, one allows blessings to flow. Allow that grace to arrive, to sink deep within your heart. Then you will feel it in your heart, and you will know it in your mind. And you will live it in your life. It will be the saving grace you desperately were looking to find. It will be the grace that was looking to find you. And so today's affirmation, and I'll read it first, and I invite us to say it together. And I will say it from a place of acceptance. I invite you to say it from a place of acceptance. I will live in the wonder of the wander I am walking. And together, I will live in the wonder of the wander I am walking. One more time. I will live in the wonder of the wander I am walking. One more time. I will live in the wonder of the wander I am walking. And so it is. And so we at CSLB do our best to love ourselves first and love you second. Sorry. Sorry. First ourselves, you second. But I hope you love yourself first, and I hope you love us second, because that's the way it should be. Love yourself first. I'm okay if you love me second or CSLB second. I love myself first. I love you second. I hope you love yourself first. And if you haven't told yourself today that you love you, why for heaven's sake haven't you? Why for heaven's sake haven't you? And so, be well. Stay conscious. Namaste. Accept what is, because when you accept what is, you get to create the what is into exactly the way you desire it to be. The what is of this moment is the power of possibility to create that presence of peace and love and joy and happiness despite any circumstances beyond your control. And so I invite us to go into prayer today. I will do my best not to fall down these stairs in these tight boots. And so knowing that it's not the boots that we put on or the type of boots we choose to wear, but where we choose to walk in those boots, what we choose to walk toward in these boots, what we choose to walk away from in these boots. And know that as we walk in that infinite intrigue of infinite possibility, that infinite possibility of unconditionally loving ourselves, we awaken to, we rise up to a new level of self-love, of self-care, of self-compassion, of self-connection with spirituality. We come to our aware of that self of spirit within as one with ourself. No separation. The self of spirit as the self of Michael. The self of spirit as the self of each one of you. And in that self as self, there's a selflessness. There's a knowinglessness. There's a movement toward the center, as Reverend Neil said. There's a movement toward the center of who we are, of who we've been, of who we're coming to be. And that center is the center of the love that is you and is me. And together I invite us to say, and so it is.
Down the street, and I start to cry. Each time with me, do what?
Come by.
A little bit louder now. Alright. Make believe that you don't see the tears. Just let me grieve in private, cause each time I see you, I break down and cry. Oh, walk on by, don't stop. Oh, walk on. I seem broken and blue. Walk on by, walk on by. Foolish pride, that's all that I have left. So let me hide the tears and the sadness you gave me when you said goodbye. Walk on by. see the tears I cry. Don't stop, yeah, walk on by, walk on by, walk on by, walk on by. You have to walk on by, walk on by.
And so as we come to near the end of our service, you know, whatever boots you're walking, walk on by that old self that no longer serves you. Walk on by. Walk on by that old self. Walk into a new adventure. Walk down a new avenue. Take a new way home today. Try a new burger at your favorite burger joint. Put the jalapeno peppers on it. You've got Pepto-Bismol at home. You're good. Walk on by that self that no longer serves you, and walk into that life of glory and beauty and bliss and bounty and happiness that you truly are, right? So as we walk on by, it's time if our ushers will come forward. Before we read our giving statement, as Ross said, the center is putting together 14 turkey dinners. Complete dinners to go. If you would like a turkey dinner, if you are looking for a turkey dinner and feel you would benefit from that, there's a sign-up list. We'll be giving those, and that's part of our outreach. It's really good to come and hear a Sunday message, but what do we do? What do we do here at the center? We do outreaches. We're providing a full Thanksgiving dinner on Sunday. We're providing Thanksgiving dinners fully packaged for people to take home so they can provide a Thanksgiving dinner. We're starting to distribute, right? Where the distribution system of the world isn't so good, we're starting to distribute. We distribute love. That's what we do here. That's why we're here. And so we invite you right now to distribute with us your financial tithe that allows us to further our outreach, to further our giving, to expand that energy of love into this world. And so I invite us to read our giving statement together. I give and receive freely and generously, with an open heart and an open mind. The universe responds to me in kind. I know that my beloved community is richly blessed, and so it is.
Thank you, God, for everything. 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 Thank you, God, for everything.
Hey, thank you for being here. So if you're new to this community, we end by singing our way out. And so I invite all of us to gather in a circle. We gather in a circle, we hold hands. If you would like to remain seated, you can join us in consciousness, whatever you're comfortable doing. But we're going to gather up, circle round, sing our way out with the peace song. You're welcome to join in, and you can remain seated, whatever you're comfortable, and let's close that circle. Stretch those arms. Open those arms right to Spirit. Okay.
Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be with God.
together that something wonderful happened at CSL Beaumont this week, today, this moment, and that something wonderful is opening up and accepting that infinite intrigue of unconditional love. And together we say, and so it is. Lunch in Carter Hall, practitioners on this side for prayer. Don't leave with anything heavy on your heart. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Oh, Happy New Year.
Pulled it out a little early. How are you?
Well, I got another surgery coming up this coming Friday, and then I'm done with it.
Let me release love naturally. 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 Let me release